Imagine a place where one specific fish is part of one of the most ancient cultures of our planet. Here, several generations have worked day in and day out for something special and unique. Here is also the country where people and nature live in harmony. Over 100 years, breeders have developed a unique way to turn a certain fish species in a true work of art. Torazo Koi is one of those breeders who has become a guardian of this heritage. He and his family lives in one of those places where they have developed a very unique variety of the Japanese koi. Over 100 years, his family produced a special bloodline that is the secret to all of their swimming champions. This is a fish so precious that the Japanese have a special word for it, Nishikigoi, or better known as swimming jewels. In this movie, I take you on a journey into the unknown world of koi. October, Japan. It is harvest season. For the most koi breeders in this area, this is the moment they have been looking forward to for an entire season. For several months, these koi have been delivered to Mother Nature high in the Yamakoshi mountains. Despite the daily checks by the breeder, it is not without risks. There's a lot at stake. Not just this year's harvest, but also many years of energy put in the care of these Nishikigoi. Birds, bears, risks of diseases, and Mother Nature. All risks that the breeder must take into account. Fortunately, breeders such as Chiyoshi Kawakami have gained generations of experience, allowing them to develop their koi every year full of confidence. I have been invited to one of the harvests of the Torazo family. In addition to Chiyoshi Kawakami, his daughter Yuki and her husband Homara are helping to harvest these precious koi fish. To make sure everything runs as smoothly and quickly as possible, Yuki checks the connected oxygen supplies for the tanks. Once ready for transport to the koi house, everyone rushes to the car in anticipation of this year's results. The cleaning of clothing and shoes is certainly not unimportant, To reduce the chance of transmitting any diseases or viruses from the mountains to the other fish, I have to clean my shoes. I drive with Hamara to the big and new koi house of Torazo to view the results of this year's harvest. The tension and enthusiasm of everyone can be read directly from his or her face. Even the wife from Chiyoshi Kawakami has come watch the results of this year's harvest. Several of Torazo's customers have now arrived to come and have a look. Often just not like that. Many of the customers see their own fish again after a year of absence. Many hobbyists and dealers who travel to Japan, including myself, come to Niigata to attend to these annual events. The combination of this area and the Nishikigoi can't be described by anyone. This is something you have to experience for yourself. Urakawa Koi Farm is an old established business founded in 1917. The world famous Torazo Sanshoku and Torazo Kohaku are brand koi produced by this high respected koi farm. These days, they are famous because of the Torazo Kohaku bloodline that has its roots in the crossing of the Dainichi Kohaku and Murata Kohaku from Chiba Prefecture more than 20 years ago. Nowadays, hobbyists from all over the world want to own the famous Kohaku from Torazo. In recent years, Chiyoshi and his family have won several major prizes with their best koi, which makes sense that many hobbyists are trying to get one of those potential champions. We will return at the Torazo Koi Farm very soon. There is a first time for everything, including my introduction to the Shintaro Koi Farm. In the meantime, I have been traveling to Japan for more than 6 years. But despite all those visits, I do not know all the breeders personally. I continue my day at the Shintaro Koi Farm, where they are about to harvest their largest mud pond containing the best Nishikigoi from the farm. A breathtaking environment where the size of this mud pond immediately exceeds all my expectations. Shintaro Koi Farm is run by Masaru Saito, and its high quality of gosanke is known worldwide. More and more hobbyists know where to find him nowadays. Under the guidance of Masaru and his sons, everyone waits patiently for instructions.
Well, it's kind of nice seeing them all there, right, swimming right around you.
I would like to introduce you to Howard, a koi hobbyist in heart and soul from the United States, and part of the team I travel with. Together with Howard, Johan and Domi, the team is complete for a week full of adventures. Today there is extra help. The two sons of Saito-san, Kensuke and Kosuke, are leading the harvest. One of the brothers was bitten by a dog recently, so he's wearing a blue glove to protect his wound. Both sons will be trained in the coming years under the wings of their father to become real koi breeders. Hopefully, they will take over the farm in the future. It remains a spectacular event in which the koi are brought up one by one from the dark water. Also present today is the Japanese television. The Japanese Nishikigoi is cultural heritage and very important for the country. Various camera crews follow breeders throughout the year to eventually make a documentary for the Japanese television. It's time to go back to the koi house. The weather is perfect and the temperatures rise to summer values. Once in the koi house, all captured koi can be viewed and measured by the breeders. The Shintaro Koi Farm was founded in 1955 by Shusuke Saito. Before Shusuke kept his first koi, he was a small rice grower. It all started as a hobby. Only 10 years later, he became a full koi breeder. The step from rice to koi was made very quickly. Shusuke's son saw surrounding koi farms such as Matsunosuke run a successful business by selling koi to the Japanese hobbyists. With the slogan "Maker of Dreams", the farm has become enormously popular and well known. Dozens of years of hard work have resulted in today's status. Yet it did not all happen automatically. In 2004, like many others, the Shintaro Koi Farm was hit by the Chitsu earthquake. A terrible day that had left irreparable damage for many breeders. The many koi that were lost that day was terrible for the global industry. Fortunately, the hobby has never been as popular as it is now. That's at least how I experience it. Certainly in Southeast Asia, but also in America and Europe, breeders like Shintaro are doing good business and the hobby is on the rise. But what does this mean for the hobbyists? I will come back to this subject later on. Being surrounded by the art of these Nishikigoi, the hobbyists and dealers who shares the same passion is priceless. Many look relieved and are happy with the result of this year's harvest. In the coming years, we will more closely follow developments at the Shintaro Koi Farm, starting with next All Japan Koi Show in Tokyo. During this trip, there are also short visits to known and unknown koi breeders, who have since become friends. Similarly, at the Yagenji Koi Farm, Daisuke-san shows us some amazing sanke and atsagi that just came out of the mud pond. I have the freedom to travel alone through the Yamakoshi mountains. This has the biggest advantage that I can visit most breeders. Sometimes very short and sometimes a whole day. This is also the case when I briefly take a look at the Marusai Koi Farm, where a customer has selected some very beautiful koi.
Here we go.
A new day has arrived. Today on the planning, the #1 harvest of the Koda Koi Farm with Hoshino-san. Just like at the Shintaro Koi Farm, this is the first time that I can be present at a large harvest of this breeder. We gather very early in the morning to not miss anything of this event. The morning mist has not been erected yet, and that gives an extra dimension on the environment where this mud pond is located. What strikes me first is the enormous depth of this mud pond. It took days to drain it until there was enough water for this day. What's also striking is the soil composition. Unlike the mountains, the number of stones in the pond is extremely high. But there are more things to see, including many lobsters and other animals that are also a good food source for the koi fish. Tension rises. And Masato-san, after not seeing his fish for a summer, sees the first glimpse of his bride. Koda Koi Farm is a relatively small breeder who does a lot of the work alone. It is impressive to see how hard this man works to ensure that all fish arrive in the koi house quickly, but especially in good health. Koda Koi Farm is run by Masato Hoshino, based in Kawakuchi. His main varieties are Jinrin Kohaku, Showa, Goshiki, Toitsu Sanke and Deutsche Showa, but of course many more. As a hobbyist, you can be very successful at his farm when you are searching for many varieties during your trip in Japan. During the summer, the breeder checks his ponds daily. It is not only the feeding machines that needs to be refilled, but also all the fencing that must keep out wild animals such as bird and bears. You can imagine that the breeder is very happy when all the koi come out the mud pond healthy. Not only his own fish swims in this pond, but also those of many hobbyists who have chosen to have the fish taken care of by the breeder. In Japan, they call this paid form of care Asugari. The location of this koi house is breathtaking. Close to one of the most beautiful viewing points is the multiple koi house of the Koda Koi Farm. It is time to take a closer look at the fish, and many Dutch friends send me messages asking how their fish are doing. Logical, because they have all been waiting a long time for this moment. One fish is even more beautiful than the other. Once checked, the fish go directly into the large green tanks, where they wait a short treatment for parasites that they may have contracted during their outdoor stay. This is a standard procedure and takes place at every single breeder. It has been a long morning. Time for a good lunch. My favorite? Sushi. That the Japanese are good with fish is generally known. There are a number of sushi restaurants in Nagaoka where you can eat the freshest sushi all day long. If you ever travel to Japan, I would advise you to eat as much as sushi as possible. You will never regret it. There are still 2 visits on the agenda for today. The Marusai and Maruhiro Koi Farm. Johan and Howard have their eye on a koi that seems to be good enough to talk about it. At Marusai Koi Farm we also meet 3 friends from the United States, busy with the new purchases for the upcoming season. From Marusai it's a 15-minute drive to Maruhiro Koi Farm. Many of you will recognize the Maruhiro Koi Farm by the large and green round pond that is mostly filled with hundreds of jumbo koi swimming beautiful inside the koi house. We arrive exactly on the right time. Just back from the harvest, they are busy inspecting and discussing the new koi. The Maruhiro Koi Farm was founded and still run by Hironori Hirasawa. Hironori is the son of Shintaro Hirasawa, or Marusai Koi Farm, where we just had the visit before. And like his family's farm, he produces a wide range of koi. It is a remarkable picture of the amount of different varieties that come out of this mud pond. The dimensions of this koi seem small, while the average fish is at least 70 cm.
Wow.
During the next visit in February, a new visit is planned, in which we take a closer look at the entire koi house. Yagenji Koi Farm. The Yagenji Koi Farm has since become a permanent part of my travels. From day one, I have been received very kindly by the brothers Daisuke and Toshinori. With 30,000 square meters of facilities and around 50 plus mud ponds, the brothers know how to grow very high quality Nishikigoi. The company was founded in 1963 and focuses primarily on growing Shiro Utsuri, Jinrin Showa, Kohaku, Sanke, Showa, Shagoi, and many more different varieties. In the Japanese culture, it's obvious that the older brother takes over the company when needed. But in the case of the Yagenji Koi Farm, this is slightly different.
Good morning.
When Yaichi's son transferred the farm to his eldest son Toshinori, Daisuke's son decided to work as a chef after completing his school. It wasn't until they become quite busy that Daisuke came back to learn the trade and share in the farm with his father and elder brother. In the meantime, the eldest son, Toshinori, had gained a lot of experience at the Sakai fish farms in Hiroshima. The youngest brother, Daisuke-san, could not stay behind and decided to gain his experience at the Momotaro Koi Farm. What is so special about this breeder is that the brothers both have the same responsibilities. True brotherhood. The Yagenji Koi Farm is a very successful koi breeder with the most diverse varieties. And today they have a very special harvest planned. The Karashigoi belongs to the Kawarimono variety and is a mustard single-colored koi. This bloodline is created by Konishi. It's a cross between a Doitsu Akama Kigoi, female, and an olive green Wagoi Shagoi, male, both larger than 19 cm. The Konishi bloodline is known for his excellent body, size and color. Some of the koi from this bloodline are about a meter tall.
To fish or?
So it's not surprising that these koi are extremely popular. The Karashi koi that we harvest today are about 3 years old. I am surprised at the enormous length and body that these koi already have. During the drive to the mud pond, Daisuke-san told me that there have been several unwanted visitors this summer. The feeding machine was found and destroyed by bears. The final results? The feed machine disappeared in the mud pond. Fortunately, the fish did not notice this because of the daily checks. Of course, a new one was placed very quickly after this. So it indicates what a breeder must take into account. The bears did not have any interest in the koi, but they definitely did in the fish food inside the machines.
Net. Daisuke-san, but not.
Oh, tonight, dinner.
Dinner. Hi.
Oh.
れがでかい。これ、はい。ヨハンさんどうぞ。
Thank you. Tategoi.
デリシャスです。
Delicious. Tategoi. Tategoi ne.
So many.
It is time to go back to the koi house. All the koi are loaded and the oxygen tanks do their work for the return trip. The first phone calls have already arrived. Some dealers have already heard that the exclusive fish are on their way from the mud pond to the koi house. Once back, the first customers are already waiting to select and buy the newly caught Karashigoi, including Ryuki Narita, one of the largest Japanese koi dealers. A respected man with a lot of knowledge for selecting koi, but also about the whole industry.
Narita-san, okay in video?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes? Okay. So Narita-san is here for the first pick of the Karashigoi we just harvested. Of course, he wants to have the first selection. He buys many koi here in Niigata when for the harvest season.
Ryuki Narita waits quietly and looks at all the new Karashigoi one by one. After a good conversation with Daisuke-san, he decided to proceed to the next appointment. What he has seen or bought remains a surprise. Daisuke proudly shows the Karashigoi to the people who have come to see. He picks out a number of koi that he presents in a smaller bowl. And he's right, these koi are amazingly beautiful. Unfortunately, I have to skip this time. These fish are slightly out of my budget. Watching the brothers work together surprised me every single time. This oiled machine runs at full speed during the harvest season. After hard work, we are treated to a fantastic lunch by the family. I can't wait to return very soon to meet the brothers again. We are on time. The fish that just has been harvested arrives at INC, or better known as Isawa Nishikigoi Center, a special spectacle by one of the most famous breeders from Niigata. Toshio Sakai was born with his older brother Toshiyuki and grew up here in Mushigame, Niigata. The history goes back many years, where the father was responsible for the development of the Matsunosuke bloodline. More about this later. The youngest brother, Toshio Sakai, set up his own koi farm in Isawa, Yamanashi Prefecture. Toshio Sakai is known as a wizard when it comes to the development of Nishikigoi in general. The brothers work closely together. One of those reasons has to do with the location of the farm. Isawa has something special, something that the breeders in Niigata do not have. Spring water, hot spring water, straight from the ground. Of course, good for the growth, but that should not be the expense of quality. For that reason, many koi are brought to Niigata to grow at a slower pace. The result? The quality remains guaranteed. There is so much more to say about these brothers, and I hope to be able to continue this story very soon.
Natural water flow through, you know. There's a big fish.
Today is an exciting day for me, a day that I have secretly been looking forward to for a whole season. One of my own koi will be harvested today, a 3-year-old sanke from the well-known breeder Yamamatsu. Yamamatsu Koi Farm, otherwise known as Matsunosuke, won the championship at the All Japan Combined Nishikigoi show in 1955 for his sanke. Sanke became the trademark of Matsunosuke. Currently, many breeders use the Matsunosuke bloodline as Oyakoi. The Oyakoi is the Japanese name for parent koi. Yamamatsu Koi Farm is now run by Toshiaki Sakai. Their farm is famous throughout Japan and the world for producing high-quality go-sanke. The Matsunosuke bloodline is world famous. It was the first bloodline that produced a ko-sanke koi above 1 meter in size. A great achievement, and years of experience and the help of others, Sakai-san succeed in growing a sanke of more than 1 meter. Not only the length is special, but also the excellent skin quality is known by the Matsunosuke bloodline. Back to my Asugari sanke, bought at Koi Center Snake, when the fish was about 2 years old. The combination of good skin quality and body shape was decisive for me when I bought the fish. Selecting and buying koi is something very personally. Always select a koi that you like. In the end, the koi will swim in your pond. For this koi, I see potential for future shows in Europe, but that's why I bought it. She will stay here for a couple of years to grow, but for now she will attend in the Nokiasai Koi show in Ojiya. There she achieved a 3rd place for best in size, so I'm pretty happy. We will continue following this koi in the next coming years.
Ja hoor, toen was het een grote. Maar ik kon het niet zo goed zien.
Dit is zoen, hè?
Goed, hè?
59. Of zelfs die 60.
Ja, 60.
Ja.
Bijna 60.
Dat was 52?
51.
51. Is goed. Is goed. Ja. Wat een reus. Papa is heel blij, opa.
So that's my sanke, guys. Together with some is happy and I'm happy, very happy too.
Hij gaat het mee, ja. Oké. 65. 65? Oh. Oké. Ja, dit is de doorgekomen, hè? Die schouder. Ja.
So there's the entry form for the Marusai Koi show this Saturday.
It is my favorite day of this trip. Under program, the #1 harvest of the Marudo Koi Farm. The Marudo Koi Farm is not located in the mountains of Yamakoshi like most breeders are. The koi house is located in Nagaokashi at the foot of the mountains. It is a 15-minute ride to the mud ponds. The crew checks the last things to prevent problems during the ride through the mountains. A responsible job, because nothing can go wrong on this special day. It is time for a tradition, toasting for a good harvest. Not only those present have to toast, even the mud pond will also receive a special treatment with sake. What do the names Hisashi, Hirasawa and Dainichi have in common? Mention the name Marudo Koi Farm, and many their hearts start beating a little faster. Before Hirasawa-san took over the Marudo Koi Farm, he worked for no less than 18 years for the Yagenji Koi Farm. His teacher? Mr. Minoru Mano himself. In 1987, he stopped at the Yagenji Koi Farm and took over the Marudo Koi Farm. During the long period at the Yagenji Koi Farm, Hirasawa-san learned to focus primarily on body conformation and heat. Improving these two parts is essential in breeding very high quality Nishikigoi.
Oh, look at this, guys. Amazing. All the balls full of koi.
I don't have exact figures, but back in the days, the Marudo Koi Farm produced 5 million baby fry, of which just under 1.5 million were of the Showa variety. After the hatching of the eggs, less than 10% remains, and a maximum of 5,000 Showas were selected. Like many breeders in Japan, he wants to win the All Japan Koi Show, the highest stage where breeders can show their pride to the rest of the world. The honor and prestige you get is a dream for every single koi breeder. The fact that I can be present at this harvest is already very special. For the second year in a row, I can film the #1 harvest of the Marudo Koi Farm. A special thanks to Johan and Domi, who introduced me here 2 years ago.
$80 เท่าไหร่แล้วนะใหญ่ๆ80 กว่าแล้วเป็นไงพี่เห็นปะเป็นไงมันหนาขึ้นปะหนานิดนึง
One fish maybe like not really lift up but like look.
Fake shot.
Fake shot. Thank you. And okay. Thank you.
So next year we will have script.
Yeah.
Act 1, scene 1. Joshi said, yeah, please.
It is quite satisfying to see the relief on the face of the breeder.
Japanese bath.
Everyone looks very happy with the results of this year's harvest.
The back slope, yeah.
So we just got back at the greenhouse and all the koi came safely from the mud pond. And they're waiting to unload it.
Yeah, I've actually seen them.
Yeah?
They're still amazing.
Ah. Yeah.
Knocked your side last year. And now he's and she looks amazing. So it's ready for the picture. Oh, there they are. They're very proud. Ready to get the next one out?
While the breeder is busy with the latest photos, I want to take time to thank you for watching my video. Sharing my adventures is so important to me. I hope that I have made you enthusiastic to continue with the hobby or to start with the hobby. I want to thank the breeders for their hospitality and the Koizamai team for the fantastic days. Making this film takes a lot of time, but unfortunately also money. Considering joining my channel, link can be found in the description of this video. I would love it if you could leave a comment under the video what you thought of it. Sharing helped to reach even more people around the world. Thank you for watching and see you very soon at the next video.